He can actually control exactly what people think, and that is our job.
Yeah.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets are true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
The production of fake news and extreme political climates by big media in America is leading to violence and social instability. Political tensions have been comparable to the climate of the Vietnam War era since 2017 and have only been rising. The main cause of the continuing division in American politics and everyday life can be directly linked to a phenomenon known as confirmation bias. Confirmation bias states that people tend to return to sources of information that support the opinions they have already formed, and that they will tend to interpret unclear evidence as leaning in their favor. While not all psychologists believe in the full effects of confirmation bias, it has been shown to be credible. Confirmation bias has been escalated and has become self-sustaining in our digital world. Networks or websites get better ratings and higher views by indulging their viewers' already formed beliefs, and they lose revenue when they go off script. This vicious cycle is polarizing the country, both politically and socially. A few good examples of the effects of confirmation bias in America are the recent riots over the death of George Floyd. News networks have been commercialized since their conception, and one man in particular was a proponent for commercial television news. Modern American news was conceptualized by a man named David Sarnoff. Born in 1891, he spent his entire life after 1900 in America working with radio companies such as RCA, which would eventually enlist him to be their commercial manager. Sarnoff was the first to predict that television news would become the principal source of entertainment, education, and news for Americans. While Sarnoff did not see anything wrong with the commercialization of entertainment, what he did not foresee were the destructive effects of privatized news. Privatization has worsened the effects of confirmation bias and has led to violence and the destruction of private property. The total estimated cost of riots in response to George Floyd's death is estimated to be $2 billion, making them more costly than the 1992 Los Angeles riots. Confirmation bias has led to increasingly strict guidelines from social media, resulting in the deep platforming and cancellation of people deemed unsafe or controversial, such as former President Donald Trump and Alex Jones, co-creator of Infowars.com and news personality, who have both been permanently banned from Twitter, which has approximately 353 million active monthly users. The cancellation of such people only narrows the viewpoint on Twitter, along with other social media companies, which leads to an increase in the divide within American politics and news. This creates a vicious cycle of censorship, which has drawn criticism. Critics of this censorship have compared it to 1984's Thought Police, while those in support claim it protects the public from figures who intend to incite violence and insurrection. They also claim it helps hold people accountable for their actions, such as sexual assault or racist remarks. Those who are opposed to the censorship of controversial figures often claim it infringes on a person's freedom of speech, which is guaranteed by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. Confirmation bias has led to a new movement known as cancel culture. Cancel culture is the idea that society should destroy the reputation and careers of those it deems morally flawed. Dan Crenshaw, an opponent of cancel culture, said, "It is time to cancel culture. This has to stop. It has no end. It is a violent purge of all things, art, speech, history, that don't conform to the radical progressive religion. Wake up, America. Hold the line." A recent victim of cancel culture is found in Gina Carano. She was recently fired from her role in the hit Disney show The Mandalorian for a tweet in which she compared the modern political tensions and violence to Germany during the Holocaust. She's landing on her feet, though, and is producing and starring in a new movie in association with The Daily Wire, a conservative news network. Gina Carano said this following the events: "I am sending out a direct message of hope to everyone living in fear of cancellation by the totalitarian mob. I have only just begun using my voice, which is now freer than ever before, and I hope it inspires others to do the same. They can't cancel us if we don't let them." The disagreement between groups on the control of information has only increased the ill effects of confirmation bias and exacerbated the ill effects, which have manifested as racial violence, a divided nation, and censorship. Many opposed to the cancellation and deplatforming of controversial figures say they themselves feel unsafe voicing their opinions, for fear of the cancel culture mob targeting them next. Confirmation bias in the news can only be solved one way: by turning off the TV.